And this is
absolute
what we originally
just it.
discussed when we first kind of spoke over the phone like 3 to 4 weeks ago when I started kind of reviewing some contracts for you. I was like, it's kind of interesting. I never really looked at a processing agreement to that extent. I think I may have briefly overviewed it, but actually working on it, and I wanted to spend a little more time to get a little every analysis for you. Hopefully, that was useful for you to get you a better insight on
Yes.
what I mean, that's where attorneys, this is where lawmakers can actually come in handy because I'm not sure if you've seen some of my other podcasts. I don't like most attorneys. I came from the health and fitness industry. That's my true passion. I make it very clear that I think most attorneys are going to burn in hell. And I'm just trying to get myself less time yeah, and that's why I'm trying to get myself less time in purgatory because that's why I'm kind of coming back to public health. But this is where lawmakers can come in effect, and this is why the state of Nevada needs an actual lawmaker, someone who is ingrained not only with health and fitness, but someone who knows the law. And this is why we can probably get some more details on how we can reduce these processing costs. But we have some other factors that are driving up the cost. Okay. And I kind of already just talked about it before we started this podcast is that, you know, based on my research, the highest surge that came for meat prices was during the Biden administration. But there's a lot of other factors that came into it. And this is why, I kind of make it clear like, hey guys, you can't be blaming Trump for all of the prices right now. It's actually in 2021 where it skyrocketed on beef, poultry, like even fish and eggs, like across the board. It was during a Democratic era, but there's other factors that people are not recognizing. And I saw, pardon me, I probably one unhealthy thing about me, Casey, even though I am promoting health, I need more sleep. And I think I already told you, I think we both admitted this, right? Because
Yeah,
you look
sure.
healthier than any girl on the West Coast or anything like that, but I know that both of us probably work a little too hard. I was doing some research about some of your reels, and then I was noticing that you're really focusing on the four big packers, these four big companies, right? And as I understand, it's Tyson, JBS, Cargill, and what was like National Beef, right?
National beef, yes.
Yeah, and and this is where I compare people. I'm like, guys, you guys have to worry about these corporate giants taking over because it's going to affect all of us indirectly, right? And this is where
Yes.
we can figure out why these meat prices are so high. And it's not because of you, it's because these processing costs, but it's a lot of other factors. And this is where I
Mhm.
told other people, as someone who's working with Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk made it a point where he focused on residential, but the same concept can be used for agricultural. That there's a residential kind of like investment monopoly going on where you have these corporate giants. They buy out all these condominiums and they indirectly drive up the prices for for homeowners because it's going to drive up the prices indirectly because you're competing against them to have affordable housing. But the same thing is happening with the agriculture, with the farming industry, is that you have these corporate giants that are taking over, and these are the more
Yeah.
companies that are kind of sticking out. And then when I did more and more research, and look, I'm a research doctor in public policy and public health, so I love researching. These four companies are all connected to big pharma. That's quite a conundrum, right? It's quite the anomaly that you
There
got these
are.
four big companies that are taking over and making the meat prices higher for the American public are connected with the same companies that are making the American public sicker. And it seems like a revolving door,
Absolutely.
that a downward spiral. So that's what I'm liking to take down. So tell me what you know about Tyson, JBS Cargill, and National Beef that a lot of people don't know.
Well, they own 85% of the processing in this country, which is in foreign owned, 3 out of 4 are foreign owned or have foreign money investors,
Yeah. Like China?
very, very high investors. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
And, when they own 85% of our food supply, that is a national security threat.
Yes.
I mean, literally just one thing has to happen. It slows down their processing in any way, and it puts that choke point hits the American consumers. And we saw that in 2020. The grocery stores were empty just
Yeah.
because, it stopped. It stopped. We have to have another way around it. We have to bring back the regional processors, the local rancher, and have that food sovereignty again to be safe. And then they're also blending foreign beef. They're importing foreign beef, exporting our good beef because we have the best beef in the world.
Yeah.
They're exporting ours, taking the money on that, and importing cheap foreign beef, mixing it with some of our grind, and then slapping a product of the USA label on that meat.
And it's not really
And
American
they're
based. A
making,
lot of people don't know that.
yeah, and they're making record margins right now, and it's insane. The cattle prices are up, which is great for the ranchers. It is. This is where they need to survive. But their margins are still making record highs for the consumers. There's no reason that they should be making record highs.
Yeah.
And I've kind of went down the rabbit hole about where they're getting government funding these foreign-owned entities to feed the schools, the kids in the schools. And they're bringing in cheap foreign beef to our kids in our schools. And I know RFK is working on trying to get rid of the heated lunch programs and bring back the old school,
Yeah,
lunch ladies
that's
that
why I'm kind of
actually
glad
cook
that I'm
our
working with
food.
people from his team too.